Good day, everyone. In our past few lectures, we have been looking at various interactions and how to code them for VR in Unity, such as teleportation, walking, and various others. In the final chapter today, we will be learning about how do you grab and release objects in VR. Today, we will be learning this interaction because it is very useful when you're actually moving around an environment, when you want to interact with the environment. So if you want to say pick up an object from one place to another, since everything is through your Google Cardboard, it is you have to code the entire grabbing and releasing. So let's see how we exactly do it in Unity VR in our upcoming lecture. To begin with, I have created a new project and I have created a new scene called as Grab. As we have done in our previous lectures, I have copy pasted the Google VR folder in our current project. Let me start by first creating the entire scene. So first I'll create the ground. So create 3D object, plane. The plane is at the origin. Just to get the color, I'll be starting the auto generate lighting on. So this is the ground for our entire virtual reality simulation. Next, I'll create two objects, which are two random objects that I'll be placing for grabbing and releasing in our VR scene. So I'll be creating first a cube. I'll be placing it at some random location. Next, I'll be creating a sphere to create 3D object sphere, and I'll be placing it at another location. So now if you see the scene, everything seems to be all in white. So let's add material to our entire scene. So create first a folder called as material. Here I'll create three materials, one for the ground, one for the cube, and one for the sphere. So let me do that. First I'll create a material called as ground. Copy dragging and dropping onto the ground. Next, I'll rename the plane also as ground also, just to be uniform. Next, I'll be creating a material for the sphere. And giving it a red color. You can give it any color. For me right now, I'm just giving it a red. And I will be dragging and dropping on the sphere to create material, the cube. And I'll give it a blue color. So now, once you have done all this, let's create the actual VR scene. So as we have discussed, first we'll create a camera rig. So that is the head. So let's say this is the head, camera head. And as you know, the main camera is the eyes of your camera head. So dragging and dropping the main camera inside the camera head. Now to simulate the Google VR, we'll be adding the emulator to the scene. So VR editor emulator and the event system to the scene. Also now, since we have talked earlier, we have the camera head, we have the main camera. Now we have to simulate the reticle of the eyes. For that, I'll add the reticle pointer to the scene. And to emulate the rays of light coming from the main camera, I'll be adding the GVR physics raycaster to the main camera. This emulates the rays of light that are coming from our eyes. I have to make sure that my main camera is at the origin, because as in VR, if you do not move the main camera, you always move the camera head. So let's move the camera head and place it suitably. Now let's play and see. You can see now, you have the reticle pointer, you could see the cube, you could see the sphere, and so on. You could move the main camera head just to be far away from the sphere. Now, what we will be doing is we will be first of all, we'll just increase the size of the ground just to give it a huge area or an infinite space to be shown when we are in Unity. This is again just to emulate the vastness of your VR plane. Next, what we'll be doing is now, what we want to do is first, when I click on the or use the mouse click, I want to emulate the grabbing of the sphere. The same thing can be done by tapping onto your phone or tapping onto your Google VR headset, or in many ways. You could have a trigger attached or connected by Bluetooth to your Google VR headset. So it can be emulated in various ways. In our current scenario, in our current example, we'll be using the mouse click button to grab the sphere. Let's see that how do we actually do it. So what we want to do is we have to create a hand. First of all, let's create a hand. So the way we have the main camera, let's create a hand also. Now, what we need to do is we have the camera head. What we'll do is we'll place the hand just near the camera head so that it emulates that how do we simulate the hand also. Here as the mouse that I have, so that it's easier for me to show you how the hand is working and all. Give me 1 second. So just to emulate, I have my mouse attached. It always helps to use the mouse when you're working in VR. So I have my hand attached. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add so this is my main camera, my hand, and both are in the same location. So just to make sure I can see where my hand is, I'll just add a temporary box collider. So what you can see is the main camera and the hand. So I will do is I'll change my location of the hand a bit ahead so that my hand and my so you see this my hand I can shift it a bit ahead. So you see my main camera and my hand I have a distance of each other. So what I will do now is I'll remove the box collider. I'll do the remove component. Now to my camera head, what I will do is I'll add a component or add a script, sorry, where it takes my hand into consideration and it takes the sphere into consideration. And when I click on my hand or when I click the mouse button, it captures the sphere. This is how I'm emulating the grabbing of objects in VR. So let me do that. So add component, new script, grab hand. You can add and edit script. Now my script is open in Visual Studio. Let me start by first creating a game object called as ball. So that game object will identify the sphere. So public game object ball and public game object. Sorry, my hand. This so the first public game object is for the ball or which is the sphere in our case, and the second game object is for the hand. And instead of the sphere, it could have been the cube and also it depends on what we want to change it to. So what I want to do is when I go to void update, if input dot button. So what I want to do is once my button is down, I want to take the ball dot transform dot set parent. So what I'm doing is when I click, the position of the ball should come to the local position of my hand. So it should change from the ball to my hand. So that is what it should do. So this is my overall script. So I'm taking an input of a ball, which is an object which I want to grab, and my hand, which is the hand I'm emulating. So when my button is down, my hand basically what it does is it transforms the ball position to the hand position. So let's see how it works actually in Unity. Save the script. Okay, I have not yet assigned the ball and my hand. Let me assign this ball. So this is the spear, and this is my hand. Okay, now let me see. So you can see over here, it attached itself to the hand. It attached itself to the hand where my hand is located. So it's right now. Let me show it to you again. So and I go there, I see the ball. When my reticle is on the ball, I press the mouse button, I click on the mouse button, and it attaches itself to my hand. So this is how the grabbing occurs, and you could refine much more. You could change the position of hand to actually emulate the best position of a hand. You could change the position of your head also. So this is how a basic script for the hand actually works. So let me start. This is how the grab actually works out. Now, once the grab is there, what should I do to release the ball? Let's look at that part of it. So for that, I'll create this. I'll go back to the script and I'll say, first of all, I'll create a boolean in hand. So what this does if it checks whether the ball is already in my hand or so. And what it does it so what I want to do is I want to release and take the ball's position or to the original position. So I do not want to take it to a new position every time. So what I want to do is as soon as I release the ball or a spear or any of your objects should go to your original position. So what I'm doing is I'm using ball position. I'm actually, first of all, let me define a vector. So I am finding the ball position which is of a vector 3, and I in the start I'm getting the position of the ball. So this gives me the position of the ball, or so since this is case sensitive, I have to make sure that it is as per it. Okay. So now what it is doing is first it's so if I click the fire button, it will check whether the ball is already in my hand. So what it will do is first if the ball is not in my hand, that is the reason we have created uh, this boolean variable. What it does is if the ball is not in hand, it brings it in hand and it says in hand, this it is in hand now. Now however, you have to make sure that as soon as it is in your hand, you have to make the in hands equal to 2. So now it's saying that now once the ball is in hand, it's creating this in hands. Else if the ball is in hands, if I click again, let me make one small change. This if in hands, actually has to be within. So let me check the this thing. So what is doing, if the ball is in hand and if I click, that means the ball will go back again to its original position. So what I'm doing is over here, I'm sending the ball back to its original position. So I'm doing the null pointer for the original parent. And since I have taken in the start the original location of the ball, I am saying that go back to that position. So now hopefully everything is correct. Now what should ideally happen is, again, what I'll do is over here, one step I forgot is, once the ball has left from my hand, I have to do enhance equal to false. So every time I click, the enhance becomes true, false, depending whether the ball is in my hand or is not in my hand. This is what exactly happens in my ball positioning. So this is how the grab and release happens. Every time I clip, it grabs, and once again I click, it releases. So that's what exactly should happen. So now let's I'm just checking all my parentheses and everything is correct. Okay, just to make sure I'm clearing all errors. Okay, I have a compile error, so it's saying that I have an expected. So let's try to figure it out. Troubleshoot it. I'm missing one parenthesis. I have this void update. I have this. Okay, now it should be fine. So one of the important things that you have to keep in mind is always solve your compile errors. When I click, it's there. There. Grab, release, grab, release. So every time I click, it's grabbing, it's releasing, it's grabbing, it's releasing. This is how you grab and release objects in VR. So if you want to grab any of the objects, whether it's a sphere, whether it's a cube, or anything, this is how you precisely do it. Thank you very much.